Hello, I'm Griffin Anderson. I'm a farmer for Q&R Farms, which is managed by John Musgrave. Today I'm going to say that someone wants you to help refill their rye seeder. I'll be talking about starting up the seed tender, operating the seed tender to refill the seeder, and putting the seed tender into transport position. We'll start at the first point, which is starting up the seed tender. First, you will start the engine. To start the engine, you will turn the choke lever up. The choke turns up the fuel amount and lessens the air intake. Then after the choke lever is at the max, turn the key or pull start your engine. Once started, turn your choke down after a couple seconds to where your engine runs best. Our engine runs best on half choke, but it varies in all engines. Next, you're going to turn up the throttle lever. This increases the revolutions per minute, also known as RPMs. This makes the engine run faster to produce more power. Then turn your lights and your transmitter signal on. Your transmitter signal sends a signal to your transmitter to operate the seed tender. And it's dark outside, so that's when I'm going to turn on the lights. Then you're going to go up on the implement, which in this case it's a seeder with your transmitter. And you're going to make sure that your tractor lights are on also, so that you can see better. Then you're going to turn on your transmitter by pressing or holding the power button. This will turn on your transmitter. And then we're going to press the boom down button to lower the spout down close to the seeder tank so that we know where the seed is going to go. Then we're going to put our transmitter up with its magnet, and then we're going to take the lid off of the seeder. After this, we're going to use the boom down button to put the tender spout down onto the tank grate to make sure that we don't spill any seed and we know where the seed is going to go. Now for the second point, learning how to operate the seed tender to refill the seeder. Next, we're going to use the conveyor start button on your transmitter to start the conveyor. Then you're going to open up the doors on the tender if you have more than one door, with the front or rear door up and down buttons. Seed will then go up the conveyor and into the tank. And make sure that the seed is going into the tank and your seed is not overflowing the conveyor down where the seed is coming out of the doors. This tractor has already been backed up to the tender, and the tender will already be in the field. Also, in this demonstration, I ran out of rye seed in my tender, so I will demonstrate how to finish the reload after running out of seed. At this point, the seed should be coming up the conveyor and going into your seeder tank. The tank grate is there to filter out anything that is unwanted that is left in the tender. The rye should be going straight into the seed tank and should not be spilling anywhere. The transmitter is used with a magnet so that it can be put onto the seed tender when needed. I've just ran out of rye, so I'm going to open up my doors all the way to make sure I have all my rye seed out. Once I have made sure that all my rye seed is out, I'm going to close the doors that are letting the seed out. Our seeder tank is about halfway full at this point. We'll make sure that everything is running smoothly and that we will not have any spillage anywhere and that the doors are not overflowing down where the seed is coming out. The seed should be coming out nicely straight into the tank grate, and there should be nothing stopping the seed from coming out, and the tank grate should be completely clear already. As you can see here, I'm starting to run out of rye seed, so I need to open up both doors all the way to make sure that the rye seed is completely out. Then once we have made sure that all the rye seed is out, we can turn the conveyor off and we can turn the doors all the way down so that nothing can come out anymore. Once you've turned your conveyor off, there might be just a little bit of some extra rye seed that comes out, but that is okay. Here I'm closing both doors so that no more seed can come out even though we are out. And then we turn our conveyor off and put our transmitter up. Then we're going to put our boom up so that we can then put the lid back on. We're going to put the lid up on there and put it on the right way. And now we're going to make sure that it is tightened down so that it is not bouncing around or we don't lose it while seeding. We need to make sure that it's fully tightened and that there's no room for it to move. Then we're going to get off the implement once the seeder lid is on there tightly, and we're going to grab our transmitter, put the boom up higher, and then we're going to hop off the implement. And this is going to bring us to our third point of putting the tender into a transport position. If you still had seed left in the tender, then you would not go into transport position and you would just leave the boom up. So now we are down off the implement, and we are now going to use the swing arm buttons, and we are going to swing the arm to the front, because that is where the boom locks into place. And we are also going to use our boom up and down buttons to make sure that we don't hit anything that is on the tender. So we are swinging our boom to the front. We're going to make sure that nothing is going to hit over here. It looks like we might hit, so we might have to put our boom down a little bit. And then we're going to keep on swinging forward. And there is a knob on the bottom of the boom that should match and line up with that hole on that steel pipe. So then we're going to lower our boom, and we missed there. So then we're going to go over a little bit and make sure that it gets in. There, now our knob is in, and we can put the linchpin in, which will lock the boom into place so it doesn't wiggle around while transporting. And we're going to shut off the lights and the transmitter signal with those same switches that we used to turn them on, and we're going to turn our transmitter off first, put our transmitter back into our box, grab our linchpin, open it up, turn our switches off. Lights, transmitter signal are now both off. Now we're going to put our linchpin in and lock our linchpin into place. Now our boom is secured and we are ready for transport. We're going to lock our box, and so our transmitter does not fall out, and our engine is shut off at this point with the engine off switch. Now we can go back to our seeder and keep continuing to seed. In conclusion, our seeder is now filled with the correct seed without spillage or damages. In this demonstration, you learned how to operate a seed tender, fill seeder, and put the tender into transport position. Now the tender can be taken back to be refilled with rye or any other seed that you might be using, or it can be put away. Now the seeder is ready to keep on going until it runs out again.